Hello, welcome to History of Aviation. This is Unit 7, Part 1A. We're going to be looking at post-World War II, the Cold War era, space race, things like that. First, just looking at the changes in aviation after World War II, starting with the establishment of the FAA, the Federal Aviation Agency. Established in the summer of 1958 when President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aviation Act. They started operations on January 1st, 1959. There is their seal, the Federal Aviation Administration today. They did change their name, and it has been in operation under one name or the other since that date. And they regulate all aviation-related activities in the U.S. There are certain things that they don't really look at, very low-flying aircraft. I can't think what they're called, the little... They're like gliders, but they have like a little engine on it, like a lawnmower engine that they fly around sometimes. Things like that aren't really regulated. You're looking at any type of major airplane, though, even a single-engine private plane. All right, one of the big things after World War II is breaking the sound barrier. There was an attempt by different countries. One of the first attempts was in the de Havilland 108, which was nicknamed the Swallow. There's a diagram of the 108. These planes were built solely for breaking the sound barrier. All right. Pilot Jeffrey de Havilland Jr., so his company, he is going to be the one flying it. And there's Jeffrey. Well, during his flight, the plane disintegrated. It broke apart, and he was killed, and the plane was, of course, destroyed. That's why they called it the sound barrier, because the first several attempts to break the speed of sound resulted in something like that. So they started to think of it as a barrier, and weren't sure they could break it. The Bell X-1, this is an American plane. And there's a picture of it. All right. It was designed by the Bell Aircraft Corporation, and it would be flown by Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager. And there's Chuck. He was from West Virginia. On October 14th, 1947, Yeager successfully broke the sound barrier in the X-1. Right. It was a 20-second flight at level, exceeding the speed of sound. There's a picture of a B-29. What they did is they took it up and they dropped it. Right. It didn't take off under its own. Once it was in the air, then it broke the speed of sound. Right. And there it is after it has been released. Other sound barrier first. Well, in March of 1948, the first civilian broke the sound barrier. That was Herb Hoover. In September of 1948, the British broke the sound barrier using the 108, right, and the pilot was John Derry. Right. 1953, the first woman broke the sound barrier, and that was Jackie Cochran, and she was using a Canada Air Sabre. And then they got faster. In 1953, Scott Crossfield broke Mach 2, which is twice the speed of sound. Right. Chuck Yeager in 53 also got the Bell X-1A up to Mach 2.5. And since then, we have exceeded those speeds as well.